What is up, everybody? It is Risky Lizard, and I'm going to make a video kind of catching you up on what's going on in Season 1 right now and some major changes that came this week in Week 3. I'm going to cover things like the free teleport. That is the most important thing I want to cover so that you can always be in the right place. The limitation is that it has a 5-minute cooldown, but there is no excuse to be scattered all over the map, and I won't zoom in on these people, but in the wrong place. So if you're active and getting on daily, you always need to be checking where the Alliance assembly point is, and at this point you need to be going here every single time this moves, except on Fridays, because the leadership will move the assembly point to prevent us from getting targeted, but throughout the week, always need to be making sure that you are around the assembly point, and we'll cover how to do that. Some other things I want to cover are how invasions into our war zone happen. You can see here there's an enemy outpost from 1173. We're on 1180. And just to kind of walk you through how these invasions work, I'll explain that. And as well as the new season centers. But I'm going to start with the season centers because that's pretty quick to explain the new damage centers for missile, tank, and air. So let's go ahead and hop into these three things really quick. And we'll start with the centers. So if you click on the Season 1 tab on the left, and you click on Season 1 here, you can go to Week 3 and click on Week 3. And if you scroll up to the top, you'll see Troop Type Boost. They have a missile, aircraft, and tank center that unlocked. Once your war zone meets this goal, there's a little chest here that you can click. It'll look like this chest icon down here that's not available right now. Once you click that, you will learn the blueprints for these, and the way that you build them is in your base menu, and you will build them in this specific Season 1 area right here. And these are the three centers you can see that I've built, and the way that you put them down is by using the hammer on the bottom left. And you can see here, under the Season tab, there is the tank, air force base, and missile vehicle base. And these are basically your new weapon centers, and each level you upgrade them gives you 1%. So my tank center is currently at level 1. It is giving me 1% bonuses just for putting it down, which is a good amount of damage, so you want to make sure you at least put them down. And my aircraft is at 15, and that's giving me 15% damage right now. So, and the resources to upgrade these are just immune protein and mutant crystals. So you want to make sure that you're still collecting your protein and prioritizing getting these up as much as possible. Once they're level 30, then you want to move on to your centers so that you have as much protein coming in as possible. And of course, before that, you want to make sure that you get your virus resistance up so that you can do better on Doom Elites and zombies throughout the season and not lose a lot of troops to them, because low virus resistance will make you lose a lot of troops just because of how the mechanics for damage reduction and negation work. So that's the new centers. That's how you put them down, how you upgrade them. And just to clarify, these are not the same as your typical aircraft center, your tank center, and your missile center. These stay with you after Season 1, but all of the buildings out here will go away after Season 1. So, but the benefit here is, of course, that you don't use regular resources to upgrade them. You use Season 1 resources to upgrade them. But you don't want to neglect these because these are still pretty large bonuses for upgrading these centers. But rather than these being percentages, these are fixed integer limit increases, which apply to all aircraft, tanks, and missiles that you have in a squad. So with that in mind, we can go on to the next thing, which is teleporting. So teleporting between servers is free now, and it's an easy way to move wherever you want. So I can say that I don't like this spot right here, and if I want to move between servers, how would I do that? So what you want to do is go to the Season tab on the right, so where it says Season 1, and if you click the top Season 1 section again, there's an area called Grouping. You can go here. If you want to teleport to any of these war zones, you can, provided that you're not on cooldown, and I'll explain that in a second. But let's go ahead and say I wanted to go to server 1177, and I just wanted to, check out a stronghold fight that's going on. Here's one. This is a stronghold that's nearing completion. If I wanted to come here and I wanted to check this out, I could just teleport here for free. This cost me nothing except a 5-minute wait to teleport to another war zone that's not my home war zone. I have to wait 5 minutes to do that. But it doesn't matter because you can return to your war zone at any time that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to show you how you would fix your location. It'll always bring you back to the Alliance assembly point, which makes it easy so you don't have to look for it. And you just want to find the most ideal place that you want to put your base down. So I'm going to just pick a place that is kind of between where all of our other stragglers are over here, and honestly, where I was a pretty good place, so I'm just going to go pretty close to being right back where I was. But I'm going to line up better. So, and just like that, I teleported back for free, and I didn't have to use any advanced teleporters. I didn't have to use my Alliance teleporters, which I currently don't own any of, but in the Alliance store down here, you have your Alliance teleporters. I didn't have to use any of these, so for the most part, you still want to keep random teleporters for getting out of tough situations, so long as your squads aren't out. But now if you're trying to escape a big whale or something like that, who's attacking you for some reason, provided that your cooldown isn't on, you can always just click Season 1, go here, click Grouping, click whatever, and you can see it told me I have a cooldown of 3 minutes and 41 seconds still. But that's a quick way to kind of just get out of your war zone if someone's picking on you, or get out and come back to move your base. Every 5 minutes, completely free. Another way that you can go to the specific war zone that we are trying to invade as an alliance is by clicking the same season tab, and rather than using the top grouping option up here, you want to scroll down a little bit to War Zone Expedition. And if you click this, you can see that we have elected to invade a War Zone 1184. So if you click Go, it'll take you there normally, but again, I'm on cooldown, and it'll automatically take you to where we have designated our outpost to be. So the outposts are another mechanic. Beyond the teleporting, there are outposts that have been introduced in week 3, and this is the ruin of an outpost that was destroyed. So they are no longer able to really use that. And then here's the ruin of another outpost that has been destroyed. But I know of one that we have right now that hasn't been destroyed over here because it's taking forever for them to build it. And you can see here, this is from someone who is on 1183, and they are trying to invade 1180. So this is another alliance who is trying to get a footing in our server, and you can see that there's this person here. You can click their name, you can see they're an R4, they have 74 members, they're largely a Thai alliance, so they're in a different time zone than us, which they probably don't have a lot of people on right now. It's basically going into Tuesday over there. Most of them are probably at work, so for the most part they might be being a little more active here in a bit. It's currently 1 a.m. for me, so that might be why, but they're basically trying to put this outpost on our server, and the reason for them doing that is because they are trying to take strongholds, and once you take strongholds, you can then fight for cities. And if you don't already know, strongholds have different benefits for them. You know, the capture buff, for example, you get your boosted food output by 2%, and with the cities, you have pretty standardized benefits, like this one boosts your coin output by 5%. So there is good incentive to go across multiple servers that are weaker than yours and try to put an outpost down, and you have to keep it alive while you try to capture a stronghold. And you are required to have a certain amount of strongholds of a certain level to then capture cities as well. So it'll kind of show you when you have cities too, it increases your stronghold limit, so holding more cities, more strongholds, and what that ultimately leads to is more influence towards the end of the season. And if you go here to the season, there is a place in here that will kind of explain like the different rewards at the top. And just a quick touch on this, like all of these different awards are based on your influence, and so long as your alliance influence exceeds 500,000, which ours does, then you'll at the very least get these rewards, and you'll get this season currency that you can spend in the season shop. But there's different influence thresholds for getting these different rewards, and they get pretty crazy at the top. But you can go to the Alliance store here, and over to the right, on the far right of the store tab, you can see all of the different things you can buy with season points. So yeah, keep that in mind. But that's where influence matters, and the reason why you want to capture cities on other servers, because again, increasing your influence can kind of make you come out better in the end of the season for getting total alliance rewards that will stay with you permanently going into season 2, like base buildings and stuff like that. And you have different like name plates and profile picture plates and stuff that will go around your picture and stuff. So all of that super beneficial. Those have little boosts for them. You can actually go to your base and you can click this little customization brush, and you can go here and see what the different benefits are to base skins. One of them is this pyramid that you can get, which when worn will give you 10% hero attack and 5% boost. And even when you're not wearing it, you'll still get 5% attack and 5% hero defense. So that's just kind of an idea of one of the things you're fighting for. There's a few other things in here. These plates can give you little benefits as well. But yeah, so that is the whole purpose for wanting to capture these cities. So going into how you put an outpost down and kind of how it would work. I believe my cooldown should almost be done for my teleport. So what I'm going to do is show you what you would do as an alliance member trying to participate in stronghold defense and city captures on another server. The first thing you would do, of course, is look out for your announcements from your alliance that are going to kind of tell you what's going on. And once you get an announcement telling you what to do, you would then click the season tab. You would come down to War Zone Expedition and click Go. And my teleport is off cooldown now, so I can go there. And you can see what it's trying to put me next to is the TLN Alliance Outpost number 1. So this outpost we put down and we defended, and we did that right at reset, which caught them off guard, which allowed us to capture this stronghold. So once we captured this stronghold, it was really easy for us to capture the next stronghold, because the only prerequisite for capturing a stronghold is to have one already touching. So, but to get this first one is actually the hardest. You have to keep this building alive while you're capturing this, and you have to get this to 100% in order to capture the stronghold. It doesn't work like on our server, how if you haven't fully captured it and 4 hours expires, you'll forfeit your right to capture it. It has to get to 100%. So keeping these maxed out and garrisoning is very important when we're trying to keep this outpost alive. So keep that in mind. But now our outpost has been killed, but it doesn't really matter now, because now we own land here, and that are these pink sort of checkered diamond tiles. This is the land that we own. So now if we want to take other strongholds like this one to the south, all we have to do is just defeat the corruptor, which is already killed, and just march here and take it. And that's all we have to do, because we have land. But for those that don't have land, we can use these as an example. You've got this guy right here, and he is from 1183, and he's trying to capture this, basically this level 1 military stronghold. So you can come here and you can see there's a protection stage, and this is the progress bar, or the progress time for their alliance trying to build their outpost. And the way that you make this protection time go by faster is by having more people garrison, and you can have up to 20, I believe, in here at once, and it'll make this go a lot faster. So the more you have over here participating, the better, because that's the faster this will go. And once this is fully built, it can then be attacked. But in the protection stage, while it's being built, it won't be attacked. So the key is to get a bunch of people there really quick, garrison it, get it built quick, and immediately try to take a military stronghold. That's what the goal is. And once this timer starts to run out, you can expect it to be hit a bunch by the server's whales, so because they don't want their server being invaded. And right now this is 1184, so this is someone from 1183 trying to invade them. And as soon as this gets closer to the protection time being over, you'll see a lot of people from this server probably coming over here to attack it and destroy it as quickly as possible before they can capture this stronghold. So once this is out of the protection stage, any of the members who are here are able to send someone here to garrison this stronghold. And when they garrison the stronghold, they'll get progress toward capturing it, but you have to basically keep this alive the whole time so that you can capture the stronghold. If this gets destroyed, all of the people in the stronghold will get kicked out, and they won't be able to capture it anymore. You can repair these, I believe, up to 1 time, and once you repair it, it'll give it, I think either half or full health again, and then everyone needs to go back to garrisoning it to keep it alive, but sometimes, depending on who has the better participation, you all might just get pushed out before you can capture the stronghold, and then that would be a failed invasion attempt. So that's generally how the outposts work. You get here, one of the leadership puts it down, everyone garrisons it, builds it really fast. After it's built, you can immediately try to take the stronghold near it, in whichever section of that you've put the outpost on. So for example, we put our outpost technically in this tile to the right over here. And because we did, you can kind of zoom in and see this pink border here. This is technically in this pink border, not this yellow one, but we put our outpost way over here, not immediately around the stronghold we wanted to capture, because we wanted to be able to make it difficult for them to get close to it to beat it. And we surrounded it very well. There were a ton of people for us here, so no one was really able to attack it, and nobody did attack it because we did it right at reset when people were trying to figure out what they were doing. So we were decisive. We came here, we took it over, and we were good to go. Everyone else who came here late, they've met a lot more resistance than we did. But we put it in the tile we wanted to capture, and we captured the level 2 stronghold. And again, once you capture this and you keep your outpost alive, you don't have to worry about the outpost as much anymore, because once you capture the stronghold, it'll go into its protection period for, I believe, 36 hours, if I'm not mistaken. And then during that time, you can just stretch your legs, catch other military strongholds around it, compete to catch other people's strongholds and capture those and take them off guard. For example, this one isn't in a protection period. We could honestly go and clear these guards out around here and try to take over this stronghold if we wanted to later down the line. And the goal of that, of course, is to eventually take over their cities to get their resources. And that's generally what the goal is in Season 1. And you're doing all of this, again, for influence points to spend them in the end of season shop, which is in the store tab all the way to the right, to buy these different things. You can buy a permanent base skin, which is very expensive, but mythical blueprints, rather than spending $300 to buy 10 mythical blueprints, you could potentially spend 1,000 season points here to get 10 blueprints to make one of your gear mythical. So that's generally what the goal of Season 1 is right now and what's changed. Talked about the different missile centers, the free teleports that you should definitely be using to always stay near the hive, and how the outposts work. And of course, as always, if you have questions, you are welcome to message me directly. But I just want to show you one more time. I'm on a foreign server. I can click this return button here to come back to server 1180. Or you can, of course, do it the much longer way and click the season tab, and you can go to the groupings up here. And you can just find your server here and go there as well. There's kind of two ways. Either way, when you come back to the server, it'll always put you down to the assembly point. So there's really no reason why anyone anymore should not be located near the hive or the Alliance assembly point, because we're going to have to do a lot of different things. Right now we're defending against the Crimson Legion attack that's going to be in a few hours from now. So you can see this red arrow on the ground that's coming from here. This is the Crimson Legion that's going to attack us. That's not another player. It's a player versus environment event or PvE event. So that's generally why we're all relocating here. And as you can see, we have plenty of people who don't know what to do or probably don't know that they can teleport for free. So this video is for all of these people who are still over here, even though this will technically be our hive. For the most part, this is going to be our temporary permanent hive. When we try to do these events, it's important that everybody moves so that when we do rallies, we're not having to go back and forth. It's just better to keep everybody centralized, and that is completely free now, so there really is no reason not to do it. So again, just the season tab, you can go to groupings, pick whatever server you want. You can just teleport anywhere, it doesn't matter. And when you want to relocate back to your server, you hit the arrow up here on the top left. Don't even have to fully load in. And then just like that, completely free, you can come back and fix your base, fix the alignment, save as much space as possible, get as close as possible, and make sure that we look like we are not an alliance to be messed with. That is pretty much all there is to it. If you have any questions, let me know.